Welcome back, everybody. Clint here today with Classic Firearms, bringing you yet another live stream on this Monday. Excited to be here with all of you guys again. It's been a couple of weeks, and since that time, a lot of shit has happened. So we'll hop into that here in just a moment. But for all of you that might be watching this a little bit later, thank you for joining. Even though you may have missed this live stream, that's quite okay. For all of you that are currently turning in, thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate you guys greatly. And of course, don't forget, I know I'm going to be getting, as we can already see here in the live chat, I'm already seeing quite a few comments as it is. And I'm going to be trying to get to as many as possible, of course, tonight within these next couple of hours. But super chats are always welcomed and appreciated. And, of course, they light up nice, bright, and flashy. So that way, it attracts my attention so I can see you guys. I've already got Rumble pulled up here, so I don't forget you guys. Because on occasion, every now and then, I see what happens. I miss out on some of my Rumble chats, all right? And it looks like maybe the Rumble's still going good. Great. Before we get into everything else, cheers. Cheers to all of you. God bless America. God bless the United States. And God bless all of you guys tuning in, saying hey. Again, it's greatly appreciated. In the cup tonight is some 16-year standard Lagavulin, one of my favorites. So, cheers, Solancha. Let's kick it off. Now, in the title, I talked about everyday carry discussion. And there's a reason why I wanted to talk a little about everyday carry. I posted on my Instagram last week on my story, and then I decided to make it a post because it got, for me, it went viral. All right. I know for what social media considers to be viral, it's probably not the case. But for me, it went viral. And ultimately, it's just a post and a story stating this, talking about this mass murderer. And you're not going to hear me call it a mass shooting or anything like that. Because nothing else is considered that, right? And when you think about the tool being utilized, no other category is defined by the tool except when it's a shooting. They call it a mass shooting. They don't typically call it a mass stabbing, mass vehicle assault, or anything like that. Usually it's a mass killing, mass murder, attacker with multiple fatalities, whatever it is. In this case, mass murderer. What this mass murderer did is atrocious, and he should have been ended the moment he let off the first round by a man or woman carrying a firearm, but he wasn't, because people have yet to realize that evil exists and it knows no limit or bounds to where it can strike. Stay strapped, get trained, and be ready to meet said evil at the door with overwhelming hate, and I use hate for a reason, and violence, or be prepared to be yet another victim. This is the world you live in. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you'll take your own self-preservation more seriously. Don't like it, get over it, or become an obituary. And since I posted that just a day ago, I'm approaching I got over 1,800 likes on it, which is great, but it's the shares. You guys shared that more than any other post I've ever done. Almost 300 shares, 106 saves, lots of comments, and I'm happy to receive them. I want to say all of them, most of you guys were in support of ultimately what I said. I think one or two were a little hesitant. One even tried to say, first, at first it takes a good guy to stop a bad guy with a gun, right? It takes a good guy with a gun to stop a bad guy with a gun. We've all heard that phrase, right? So with that, this guy responded, I'm not even going to try to pull up the comment right now, but ultimately saying, funny how we went from it takes a good guy with a gun to stop a bad guy with a gun to now it's your fault for being killed because you didn't carry a gun. And quite honestly, yeah. Yeah, dude, it is. We're living in very uncertain, dangerous times, and people are still, not are they only not carrying a firearm, there's still so many people saying that we need more gun regulation, more gun-free zones, because they work so fucking well. Am I right? Because this past mass murderer went to 2 places that were posted, please no firearms on the premise. Well, I mean, if this was truly a good criminal, or maybe if he was a bad criminal, he would have obeyed the sign at the door and would have said, well, can't kill anybody here with this gun, so I guess I got to go to the next place of business or whatever. I'm preaching to the choir here when I say, a majority of you, I think, criminals don't abide by the law, right? And to be quite frank with you, there are a lot of laws on the books that I don't think should be abided anyway. Now, I'm not going to go over here and start running my mouth too much and, incriminate myself or anything. But anyway, I wanted to talk about that because that post got a lot of publicity. And if you guys are following me, thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. If you're not following me, feel free to magdump_Morgan, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that type of fun stuff. And hop in on the conversation. But you guys are all here right now, which I greatly appreciate. So let's head on over to our last live stream a couple weeks ago, and let's get to some of the comments there. I'm not going to share the screen. I'm just going to pick out a couple here as I scroll through, because the last one I talked about Israel and the Second Amendment, which again we can talk a little bit about now because they're getting ready. Well, there's so much hesitation about whether or not the Israelis are going to, invade Gaza, I guess you could call it. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. Go in and try to wipe Hamas off the face of the earth. But that's a lot of what the conversation was last time we talked, which was about 2 weeks ago. And how I bet, a lot of the citizens of Israel wish they did have a Second Amendment. And I personally don't give a shit about which side you're on, if it's, free Palestine, pro Hamas, or, sometimes these two go together. Or, you're pro Israel. I'm pro America and thinking we need to stay the fuck out of it. So that's how I feel about it. Why get involved anymore and sacrifice more of our own men and women in something that probably isn't going to matter? I mean, the past 20 years in Afghanistan, did they matter? Really? What did we do besides kill a lot of civilians and also kill a lot of other people, including our own? So anyway, as far as a couple weeks ago, let's see here. Let's get to this one. Blue Yeti Inc. 7553. And do the Palestinians have a right to defend themselves against a brutal occupation that denies their human rights? Does anyone even have compassion for them, for what they have faced over the last 70 years? Gaza is effectively an open-air concentration camp where Israel controls if they get power, water, or food. And how about the 2 million prisoners of war, hostages they have taken over the last 16 years, which includes many, many women and children? And quite frankly, if that's the truth, because there's so much propaganda from both sides, this is why I say we don't even get involved, because we don't know what's true, right? So, hell, we just had a mass murder take place in Maine. We don't necessarily know what's true there. Yet, how convenient is it that another guy goes on this rampage right when they're talking about yet another assault weapons ban, and then he kills himself afterwards, right? So it goes, okay? Are they really conspiracy theories at this point? If you know what I mean? Anyway, as far as Blue Yeti Inc. 7553 goes, if what you are saying here is absolutely true, then yes. I bet the Palestinians wish they had a Second Amendment too. I mean... So, oh well, they don't. Neither did the Israelis. And look what happened. People got massacred. They got butchered. Quite frankly, yeah, that sucks for them. What more do you want me to say? I'm sorry. Pray for them. Reach out, Oh, shit. I'm not even drinking that much. But, damn. That sucks. What more can I say, like I said? So, anyway. Let's see here. Man, some of y'all with these long names over here. Aguero Ditos 5737. He's got a USCCA icon or emblem for his pick. Nice. Nobody wants to see the real use of the Second Amendment until we are in it, and all of a sudden they love 2A. Yeah, maybe. We have a problem, same person. We have a problem where we are always running to the aid of other nations while our economy continues to plummet. When are we going to look out for our own and build a better future like China was doing while we were in Iraq during Desert Storm and Operation Desert Eagle? One comment, USS Liberty. It's not terrorism when you use missiles. Keep our money and resources here. America first. We are hurting. Blah, blah, blah. It's all pretty much, the same. You're right, Clint. To think of all the homeless veterans we have now housing all of these illegals free to them and taking a lot of government spaces for them. I don't mean to say blah, 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 but, there's a lot of similar comments. I value all of your comments. All right. I'm just throwing that out there. Let's see here. Israeli Americans have been the ones who have put the vast majority of anti-gun laws in America. Go look up senators who have put the anti-gun laws forward all Jewish Americans. Interesting. Let's see here. We need to stay out of it. Israel shouldn't be an ally. We need to end all aid towards Israel and cut away from that alliance. Register AIPAC as a foreign agent while we're at it. Clint, I don't know if you have done this before, but a video on a battle belt and how to set it up. Not a vest, but just a comfortable belt to bug out with, how to set it up, something like you guys wear when you're going to shoot a pistol and M4 at the range. So we do have a video. I'm pretty sure we've got like range day loadout, something like that. Just type in classic firearms gear. It'll come up. Anyway, there's a lot of comments there. I don't want to spend too much more time on that because I want to get to you guys in the comment section over here. I know a couple of super chats have already come in. So let's do it. All right. Let's hop right on in there. Let's get to some of these super chats. CD, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm picky with my grips, and I love B5 P23. Do you know if B5's P grip 22 fits the SCAR? I don't want to modify my lower. Also, is it weird to be that guy that has a 308 as his shit hits the fan rifle? No. In fact, we were just having a discussion in-house today about what our next shit hits the fan, like we want to do a shit hits the fan contest at Classic Firearms, and we were thinking, like, what should it be, right? I'm not going to give too much, but we're talking like a full-on loadout here with belt, probably perhaps maybe pistol, a kitted out belt, kitted out rifle, body armor. Thank you, Guard Dog. You guys already know they're going to throw in, and probably a pack system. Maybe I'll get trauma pack to throw in also, so yeah, we're thinking about that, and that giveaway or contest will be 762, we're thinking. So there you go. Anyway, I say that because I see Otter over here. Just wanted to go ahead and throw out that anyway out there. Nick Cowart, appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. More gun owners need to regularly financially support 2A organizations. The cost of my monthly GOA Patriot membership costs as much as a trip to the range. And bam! Support Gun Owners of America. There's the Second Amendment Foundation, Firearms Policy Coalition. Do the research on which organization you want to support. And if you're not able to financially support them, that's completely cool. With the inflation and the economy, the state of it that it's in right now, we get it, right? There's a lot of us that get that, hey, you know what? I can't buy that one thing that I've been keeping my eye on right now because, well, I need milk and eggs. Thanks, Biden. There's all sorts of things out there. And no, I know it's not just Biden before you guys start chiming in or whatever, there's a lot that plays into it. Thanks, all representatives. Anyway, damn it, now I'm on the NOA train. Sorry, guys. So if you can't, I see Kaya. Looks like Kaya. What's up, dude? Man, I was not expecting you. No, I don't have any headphones. God dang it, I can't hear you. Hold on.
What's going on? I was just drinking out of my GOA
support
cup.
A second,
like,
where the?
Why not?
Does this end? Dude, I just cleaned off my desk, and now I got a bunch of guns sitting on top of.
Don't worry, I'm busy
headphones.
anyways. What's going on, guys?
It's funny that I clean off my desk, and that's what.
I see Crunchy Taco there.
It's considered cleaning because I got more rooms for guns now. Just hold on, bro. Son of a. All right. Which one's left? Okay. All right, say something. There we go.
Jessica?
All right, I can hear you.
I saw two things. Well, I heard shits at the fan.
Yes.
And then I heard GOA.
Yeah. So I'm getting a little bit of I don't know if everybody else is, but I'm getting a little bit of feedback on your end. I can hear you. Let's see.
How about now?
Oh, that's good. That's good right there. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But, so I was talking about Shit Hits the Fan because we were talking a little bit earlier today on Slack about what our Shit Hits the Fan potential contest looks like.
Oh, dude. I think it's going to be great. If we do it, dude, I mean, you and I could just have some fun setting that stuff up, the belt and the carrier and all that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll reach out to a couple and couple of different, I was talking about trauma pack, guard dog throwing in, stuff like that. Oh, but yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. But I was getting to Nick over here who was talking about pretty much people putting their money where their mouth is when it comes to supporting your Second Amendment rights. It's one thing to exercise your Second Amendment, which everybody should be doing, especially in the state of the world that we currently live in. But if you can support organizations like GOA, I see your cup, right? Guys, is that GOA
dude,
cup?
That's what I was saying.
There it is. Yeah. You guys can see who we really like and who we like to work with and everything. Gun Owners America, Second Amendment Foundation, like I was talking about before, Firearms Policy Coalition. If you can financially support these organizations, do so. But if you can't, again, like I stated before, due to the inflation, due to the economy, it's just not in your budget right now. Totally understandable. Word of mouth is a big thing. Social media is a big thing. And it's crazy when you start spreading this stuff, it spreads like wildfire and a lot of times. So do that. And then,
dude, I was just saying that on my stream too, the GOA and the bunch of other different organizations out there, it really doesn't cost them all that much. And they are pretty much the only folks out there that's fighting actively.
Well, there's definitely quite a few of them that are going to court, that are filing lawsuits left and right. And even today, Gun Owners of America, their injunction was extended. So if you are a Gun Owners of America member, you and your family, believe it or not, are still protected and you can still run braces. How about that?
Oh, isn't that crazy? That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was just extended today. Pretty fucking cool if you ask me. Let's get over here. Thank you again, Nick, for the super chat. Let's get over to Smart Shooters LLC. This is Rostic Arms. This is Daryl over here, guys. Awesome guy. And again, I got your rifle sitting right over here, man. I'll remember to put it, on the back somewhere over there, maybe where my M16 or my M4 is, and run that. But anyway, sup, bro, just showing love. Let's keep educating the people and fighting against ignorance and tyranny. Cheers to all fighting for our 2A rights. Cheers to you on that for sure. Speaking of cheers, we got a couple more super chats here. We got some super chats over in Rumble I'll get to in just a moment. Speaking of cheers, are you just drinking water, Kaya?
It's classified, but I'm drinking. What are you drinking?
It's water. Lagavulin 16. Look at that. It's brown in there.
I'm drinking flavored water.
Flavored water?
Flavored, just like a little Mio thing.
That's cute.
I know. Damn it. Don't make me go pour that whiskey in here.
Dude, when I was in town, you should have given me that Lafroig, man. I forgot all about it.
That's right.
Yeah,
but
it's all good.
We may be going somewhere very special sometime very soon.
Yeah, we will in just a couple weeks. We're pretty excited about. We'll talk. So. Yeah, we'll talk about that here. Yeah. Let's get to a couple more of the comments here. Otter over here, Clint, my homie, man. Where is Son of Liberty Gunworks on the website? Shit. I completely forgot. I was supposed to hop on a call with them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I'll go back in my email. Thank you, Otter, for the reminder. See, this is why I need an assistant. This is why I need an assistant. Yeah. Get told I need to drink more water. And secondly, hey, you said you were gonna call back Sons of Liberty Guns Work. So yeah, we'll figure that out. All right. Otter again, Kaya, take a drink of whatever that is every time Clint says anyway. That's funny. You're in for a rough night. You're going to be very hydrated. Very hydrated. Thank you, Otter, again, for the super chats. It's always good to see you. Always good to see you as well, Tanner. Classic Firearms live stream with you two and leaving for Charlotte tomorrow. Hope you guys are filming at the range this week. Very cool. So, Tanner, be in touch, man. Unfortunately, I won't be around this week, but maybe next time, all right? And I'll just leave it at that. So, okay. But Tanner, yeah, thanks again. It's always good seeing you, man. Appreciate you and the super chat. Let me just hop over to Rumble really quick because we got Cody Blees over here. Hey, Clint, good to have you back. Let me also just There we go. Hey, Clint, good to have you back. Love the Shit It's a Fan video. Just wanted to shout out my 2A Ways channel here on Rumble. A video shooting pumpkins with different calibers will be out on Wednesday. 2A Ways. Guys, check him out. He's one of our viewers here that's always in, so pretty cool to have him also there. So thank you for the Rumble super chat. Appreciate it, Cody. And then here we go again with Professor Blake Pooh Ass Blaster 3000. It always gets me. Clint, I was wondering the difference between low-end and AR-15, low-end AR-15 and a high-end AR-15, and I was thinking about Bravo Company and a Radian. So first of all, you can't go wrong with either one of those. Personally, I'd probably go Bravo Company because I think their durability is just there. There's nothing like true flashy and eccentric. They're just good guns that are going to run. Radian makes some badass shit, don't get me wrong. And I mean, there's definitely some durability there with they got the ADAC, right? They're the Radiant ADAC, which is if you want that lower is probably one of the best lowers out there actually, so that's kind of hard to, but the price, they are expensive, so that's something else to take into consideration. But if you want to know what the difference is between high end, low end, it comes down to materials, it comes down to the milling, and it comes down to ultimately the quality of the products that they're putting out there, whether or not they are in spec, so on and so forth, right? So that's really what it comes down to. And there are some out there that, do it very, very well. There are some that don't, and that's all we'll say right at the moment.
Clint,
and
do you even know anything about low end ARs? Like everything you have is so freaking Gucci. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I did. I'm just looking around. Yeah, I mean, I know.
It's so freaking. What did you have? Like LMT now too? Oh
yeah.
My God, I hate you. But okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Was that too loud?
No. So that's all there is to it. Now let me go back to the beginning here of the chat, the live stream. Because there was somebody I saw. First of all, Ariel wanted to know, what is AMA? Ask me anything. There we go. AK all day. Got it, though. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Good to see you, AK all day. Love your, it's over here. There it is. Love your icon. That's hot. We need to make that a sticker, right? I'm sure it is. All right, Keith, good to see you as well. Cheers. Let's see here. EDC, who cares? From Big Pop Q. So here's the thing. It's not so much about, the guns and all that type of fun stuff that we're talking about. A lot of it has to do with mindset and ultimately the preparedness around everyday carry, because it's not just your gun. It comes down to your holster. This is my Alpha Omega Kydex holster here. Code word Morgan, or Magdump Morgan, or just Magdump, not Morgan. What am I talking about? Magdump. But anyway, this is something I really like. Gun goes here, spare mag goes here. This is for my SIG P365. Definitely a fan of that. It comes down to gear, it comes down to training, but it also comes down to something that a lot of people, I think, that they don't really think about, and that's first aid. Having something where you can apply first aid. There's a lot of pocket first aid kits out there that I would definitely recommend. This obviously is big. That, maybe a lot of people wouldn't, they wouldn't just have this in their back pocket. Because why? Because it won't fit. You know what I mean? But if you're one of these people that likes to carry a backpack around, something like that, what you have in that backpack could, potentially save your life or the life of somebody else if you've got yourself not a basic, but a quality first aid kit. And this is one of my trauma packs here, tourniquet on the outside, stowed, ready to go. And something like this, like I said, could really save your life. Kyle, what's your concealed carry right now, pistol wise?
I'll answer that right after I answer to this big. What's that? Biff Buff chest. It says, "Kaya, please stop wearing your little brother's t-shirts." People need to understand I've been wearing Clint's t-shirts.
Oh, is that right?
Well, I'd love to show you, but my EDC is Hellcat Pro. I've got a Swamp Fox optic there with a TLR7 sub, and it's fantastic. I've got that nice 15 round plus one capacity. Everything is good to go with the Hornady critical defense ammo.
Yeah,
gets the job done. Got a tourniquet, and that dude, a lot of people don't think about that med kit that you have.
Yeah,
like. Don't just get the med kit. You actually really need to know how to use that stuff. Look at that. What is that?
That's Federal HST. I like this stuff. The stuff's pretty good.
Federal HSC is actually awesome, dude.
Yeah, so this is a 17 round 365X macro mag.
Yeah.
So, that just fits nice and snug.
How do you like that for concealment? Is it pretty cool? Do you like it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use it pretty well. Now, if Sarah was here, she'd say that I print too much, but
that's really what I was asking. Like, because I feel like that grip is a little bit too long.
Yeah, it's really not bad. Can I just say this? I'm not going to confirm nor deny that I was in Salem, Massachusetts this past week for Halloween, and that I was carrying my 365 and this whole setup underneath a Surefire T-shirt and just a button-up shirt thrown over. I'm not going to say I did that, because that's.
That was part of your costume, though.
That's
right?
Yeah, that's in Massachusetts too. They don't allow stuff like that. I would never. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
but
I
can.
You know that, right? You do know that. You don't have to carry anything. Cops will come and save you right in time.
Right. I legitimately walked by a lot of police officers, and I feel like that, they would have recognized if I was carrying a gun or something. You know what I mean? Like exactly. I feel like so. But I can say
they were oblivious, or you were very good at concealing things.
Well, this is why layers matter, right? And if you ever do want to actually conceal effectively, then having a T-shirt with like a long sleeve shirt thrown over, it's really makes it very nice.
I can never conceal with these baby shirts, dude.
Yeah, well, there's a way to fix that, dude. It's called a size up, maybe 3. But
that's funny.
So, by the way, anyway. Continuing on over here. So EDC, who cares? That's why, because we want to talk a little bit about what's going on, because just think, right? I think about this mass killer that did what he did at a bowling alley and at a restaurant, where it was posted, no guns, right? No guns.
Gun-free zone.
Gun-free zone. And if somebody decided to take justice, law in their own hands, I guess, or maybe just, the self-preservation. I truly believe he could have been stopped. Again, I like to reference what Eli Dickin did in Indiana at the Greenwood Park Mall. And he did that with a Glock and a broken sight, And he put down several rounds downrange, all making contact with the shooter. No, casualties, civilian casualties coming from Eli. But I think the guy got off a couple rounds, and I think there were 3 casualties from the killer in that case, or the murderer in that case, and Eli stopped him. And I believe that, quite frankly, if more people took it upon themselves and recognized that, again, how many fucking times am I going to say this? Evil exists, and it's not going to abide by the law. It's not going to give you an advantage. It's going to try to find you when you're at your weakest, when you're the most vulnerable. And that's typically in gun-free zones. That's typically in states and city that implement very, very strict gun regulation, gun laws, because they know that makes an easy target.
Exactly.
Why are schools?
They always go after those freaking innocent people.
Why are schools so popular? If somebody wants to get numbers up on their body count when it comes to killing kids, right? When it comes to killing anyone, why are schools so popular? Because they are soft targets. We need to harden our schools, and I truly don't believe it would be that difficult to harden our schools. I really don't. But no, they choose not to, because why? Because, well, they're not politicians. They're not politicians. They're just kids. So.
Dude, who was that guy? There was somebody when we were doing stuff with GOA. He said, was that Parkland shooting? Some active shooting incident. He said, a bunch of kids died. He said one of the biggest tragedies in that incident was there was nobody there to shoot back.
Right.
I mean, think about that, man. Like at this bowling alley incident, that guy was a coward, obviously. He couldn't go to a place where be armed people, like military base that he threatened to go shoot up, right? Why didn't he go do that? Because he knew he would get shot back at, right?
Right. So, and here's my thing about like military bases, stuff like that. In Tennessee, we had the shooting take place at, where a reserve unit, right? Where I used to be down in Greenville, South Carolina. Yeah. And that's quite honestly a soft target. Unless it's a drill weekend and there's a high number of individuals, Marines, sailors, whatever, at this Navy Reserve Center, then they typically don't have armed guards. And there's usually...
I don't know that, dude. Honestly, like, I have no clue. How does that work?
So well, that's just it. It's like any other workplace office. All it is a secure gate. You type in a little code, you go in, or you show your ID and you go in, and they open up this gate that's, it's a nice gate. It'll stop somebody from ramming it.
Inside?
No. Damn. Maybe one person. I think it's usually the armorer that might have a 9mm on him. It might be the M18 or the M9 still.
Okay.
And it's that one individual. Remember, there was a guy he was a Navy, whatever the hell his rank was. I don't remember. He took a couple of shots at the guy. I think this was in Tennessee. He took a couple of shots, and they actually got him in trouble because he had a gun.
Oh, that's yeah. I heard that. How crazy is that, dude?
Right. Now, if he would have actually, killed the guy and prevented him from going and further killing more people, maybe he would have gotten a little bit of leniency. But I believe he did get charged and in trouble for having a gun on premise. Right. So, it's ridiculous. It's like, and so then if you look at different bases, a lot of them have, pretty much a very strict firearms policy on base as well. But you are right. There are typically body armored up guards that have
at the gate,
M4s. Right? Yes, exactly. At the gate, and so, yeah. Now, are there other ways to get on base other than going straight through the front gate? I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know anything about that.
so there you go. All right. So let's get over to the comment section really quick here. Just want to say, Scott the Prussian Rash, good to see you again, man. Clint, hey, bro, sent you a Facebook message or a message on the Facebook page. A couple goes. I'll take a look and we'll see. Yes, I was generally talking about Maine and what was going on over there. I just put an ATI upper on an Anderson lower for my first, and I'm in love with it. That's all that matters. Cajun, as long as you're in love with it, man. Run it, run it, run it. All right, let's get back over here. Generally not too sure what I was right about, but thank you. Appreciate it. All right, and Scott always says, too, stay strapped or get clapped. That's pretty much words to live by right there. Brandon, hey, Clint, I sent you a message on Insta. I'll have to take a look and see. And I think I saw a couple more super chats come through, which I greatly appreciate. Again, you guys, let me hop over to Rumble before I get to those, though, because we've got Professor Blake Haspoo Blaster 3000. Another one. I almost got mine. LWRCA 5 paid off. And also getting a POF Revolution 308 piston. Cannot wait. Also, what do you think of 6mm arc? And is it worth getting at all in an AR platform? 6mm arc is super cool. We did have the opportunity at SHOT Show this past year and I think the year before. And we were able to engage, I want to say we're shooting out targets at about 1,000 yards with ease with 6mm arc. I do believe that it is a pretty awesome round, but as far as that goes, other than a couple rounds at a couple of different shows, I haven't actually really done much with that round. Kaya, you?
No, I'm actually brand new to it. I think Ryan and I are planning on doing something here sometime soon, but dude, I've got zero experience with that. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah. So 6mm arc, is something I think, right now it's hard to introduce, and it's a newer round to the game. It's not brand new, but it's definitely a newer round to the game.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try this. That looks better. I like that.
Oh, what is this?
Yeah,
well, I was actually gonna take off.
Yeah. Oh, were you? I was just gonna try this, but just to see it because
I was looking at some of the chats because I haven't been reading. But dude, there's you got some super chats to go through.
Yeah. I'm checking them out. Yeah, I'm checking them out right now. We've got Nicholas Weaver that wanted to donate. Thank you so much, Nicholas. Appreciate it. Thank you. We've got Victory Has Defeated You. The administration who armed the Talamonsters with 80,000 actual machine guns shouldn't be going after Vickers or banning any guns. I'm glad we're talking about our dear friend Larry Vickers. As you guys know, he's been a host on our podcast a couple of times, a co-host. We've had him on the channel. He's just, how do I put this? Larry is such a phenomenal individual in the gun community and ultimately a true patriot. This man, what he has done for the service of this country is incredible. He has spent decades in special operations. He helped design what is now a prolific and commonly used firearm in the United States Marine Corps, and one that has been used worldwide, and one that has a huge following, the Heckler & Koch 416. Now the M27 in the Marine Corps, different variations of that, but he helped design that gun. He also helped design my standard issue sling, the Vickers. It's even called the Vickers Blue Force Gear, the Vickers Combat Sling. What he has done for this country is incredible, and at no point in time, and Kai and I have both worked directly with this man. At no point in time, did you ever feel threatened by him?
Oh, he's an awesome guy. Dude. He's like I don't know. He's a guy that you want to be
around,
for sure.
Did you ever think, though, that he was going to maybe take one of these machine guns that we hear about and come into Classic and shoot the place up?
No.
Vicker,
I mean, dude, I was hoping that we would do another podcast with him. Like, the guy is a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, we still can before sentencing, and I think we should. I think we should get him on our podcast very soon.
Okay, so he's out, right?
He's still hosting classes. The day they announced it, he said CQB course on this date.
Dude,
cheers to that, man.
Cheers to that. And you know what, dude? We should definitely have him. Like, I just met him too when I started Classic. I saw him a couple of times with the Alex Vedra, and we had our podcast there. I mean, just an awesome guy to be around. He's super fun. He's a good dude, man. But I don't know, again, whatever happened with the ATF and whatever's going on there, I don't know the details. He pled guilty to, but maybe they just cornered him, you know? Like, just because somebody pleads guilty doesn't mean they are. And I'll tell you this as a former law enforcement myself. Sometimes you catch a person, and this could be the wrong person, or the state attorney's office or AUSA's, whatever. They'll say, hey, we'll give you 10 years if you try to go to trial. But if you don't, we'll give you 6 months if you say you're guilty. And you're like, you know what? No, I can beat this. But the distance between 6 months and 10 years is so great, and you don't want to take that chance. And you say, okay, fine, I'll sign. Just show me where to sign. That's called a plea. Plea system is screwed up in this country. But
we don't have
details.
Yeah, we don't have a justice system in this country. Yeah. We have a legal system. All right?
Yeah.
And I truly believe that, because if we truly had a justice system, Larry Vickers would be able to do exactly what he was doing before without any regulation, without any bullshit coming from some 3-letter agency that shouldn't exist, quite frankly. Yeah. If we had a justice system here, then a lot of the politicians that we have so-called representing us wouldn't be representing us. Put it that way.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of messed up. Like, a guy like Larry, like, dude, so many freaking. I arrested this dude with 2 like AK-47s, like this stolen stuff. I'm talking about, like, gangbanger. A week after I got this guy, he's got so much dope on him, chase, everything. He was out.
Yeah.
Something they just
when I worked at a local police department, same thing. Yeah. And we'll see. But yeah, when I worked at a local police department, same thing. We had a repeat offender all the time, breaking into cars, stealing shit, drugs, all this type of stuff. No shit, dude. We'd arrest this guy, 48 hours, here we're getting another call about him. And it's like, dude, what the hell?
See it all the time, dude. All the time. It's so frustrating. Oh, you know, they would even call me. He's like, Officer Kaya, would you be okay if he just got a boot camp? I'm like, he just punched me in the face and broke my nose on duty. Boot camp? He should go to prison. And now they just. But a guy like Larry Vickers, you know, he's gonna go to prison most likely with all those crazy charges. Because I mean, I honestly, with all those charges that he pled to, I would be appalled if he doesn't serve time.
Yeah. Well. So. I don't know. I really hope the judge looks at his military service, looks at what he's done for this country, and really weighs that heavily. Yeah. Because he has no, as far as I know, no priors. No other offenses, dude.
Dude, if Trump was in the office, he'd pardon him.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that or not. It's quite simply because Trump is the same guy that, you know, thought that banned bump stocks. So now Trump Jr. maybe. I mean, have you seen the stuff he's been putting out? It's pretty great.
Oh, dude.
But I don't know. I feel like maybe if, you know, somebody that actually truly loved this country, and like maybe Ron Paul, I think maybe would have pardoned him. Rand maybe. Anyway, let me get to some of these chats really quick.
Anyways, I'm gonna take off before you go. I just wanted to literally come in, crash a party with the whole GOA thing, and I'll just let you be. You guys take care. I just want to say hi. Take care, buddy. I'll see you later. All right?
Yeah, get your hydration on. Oh, by the way, before you go, you've got a new Instagram.
I got what?
You got a new Instagram.
I got all English Instagram called Copper Kaya. Now it's not copper. It's like he's a copper.
He's a fucking copper. Yeah,
Copper Kaya. And before I leave, the Hellcat. Remember I told you that I need an Alpha Omega holster. What's your code on there? Because I'm gonna buy one.
Magdump.
Just like Mag. Do I have _Morgan?
Just Magdump.
So I go to Alpha Omega's website.
Yeah.
Alpha Omega Kydex, right? I go there.
Yep.
And then when I check out, I just do code word Magdump, right?
Yep. Or you can go to the link in my description on Instagram, and that'll take you right to it.
Okay, I'll do that. All right, buddy.
All right, Kai. I appreciate you, man. Take it easy.
Care, man. See
ya.
Bye.
If you guys had questions for Kaya, sorry, I probably should have asked him to review the chat and everything. But anyway, it was good to get his perspective a little bit since Larry Vickers got brought up, since his career in law enforcement would make sense in this discussion. But quite frankly, everything I said before, 110%, Larry Vickers did nothing wrong. Free Larry, #free Larry. The only crime being committed is the fact that there are regulations and infringements on the Second Amendment, and people are being prosecuted for them. God, we shouldn't be burying guns. We should be burying fucking tyrants. Anyway, that one. This is a live stream, Clint. Calm down. All right, so anyway, I hope all my doors are locked. Let's get over here. I know, Otter, I'm saying anyway a lot, okay? Matthew, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Bogo, what's the difference between a shit hits the fan rifle and everything else? Isn't the main reason for buying a firearm is to be ready for when shit hits the fan? It depends. Kai and I did our video about, a shit hits the fan loadout, and I asked him, what do you consider to be shit hits the fan? Because in one moment, shit has hit the fan, like, somebody walking into the bowling alley that your kid is in a youth league at and starts shooting the place up with a .308 rifle. Shit has officially hit the fan. Or maybe somebody's kicking in your door. Shit has hit the fan. Or maybe you've got paragliders dropping in at your music festival. Shit has hit the fan. Each one of those scenarios would, quite frankly, I would prefer to have something different in each one of those scenarios as far as a gun, firearm, weaponry goes, right? So the difference between a shit hits the fan rifle and everything else rifle, it depends on the scenario. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. Now, what we determined in our video of what constitutes a shit hits the fan scenario was zombies, quote unquote. You determine what the zombies are. Maybe these zombies are shooting at you with AK-47s and paragliders. Maybe these zombies are like the Walking Dead ones where they're nice and slow. Maybe these zombies are like the 28 weeks later ones and they're fucking running fast at you or something, By the way, I'm sorry for all the cussing tonight, but I feel like, this, it's justified here. NSFW. Sorry, guys. Or not safe for family. So let's continue on. Bogo, that's ultimately what the difference is here. And so I appreciate you and the super chat. We got Otter over here again. Thanks to see you. Nice to see you, and thank you for the super chat. My Medic for first aid, and they take HSA accounts. Also, they give video training for free on their stuff, which is PPPPP cool. All right, I'm not hip with the new lingo in town. Is that like another way of saying like pretty cool? I'm too old for this shit. All right. Thanks, Otter. Appreciate you as always. Nicholas Weaver, good to see you. Again, I bought an MC9 after watching the video. Solid choice. I actually have, God dang it, I meant to bring my my tactical fanny pack. I can take this off now. Kai is gone. But it is actually kind of nice because I can hear when I get away from the microphone and you guys don't hear me as well. I brought my tactical fanny pack down because when I go for a run, it gets kind of difficult to conceal carry a gun. And I actually conceal carry my MC9 and my AWS gear tactical fanny pack. It's got Velcro pockets on it that allow me to actually like do a little insert, a Velcro insert that holds my gun, holds an extra mag, holds my pocket knife, all really securely in there. And I just kind of put it on my side or wherever it's comfortable when I go for a run. So MC9, I like it a lot. Looking at getting an AR-15, we really like a recommendation for roughly $1,000 bare bones rifle. You guys already know what I'm going to say. IWI Zion 15. They're made here in America. You don't really have to worry about them, being affected by what's going on over in Israel right now. But the Zion 15, I think, is out of the box one of the best rifles out there. You can take a look at like the SIG. What do they have at the SIG? Snake bites, and don't they have like a SIG 416, something like that, or something going on? Something like that. Crazy one, Mopar. I see you over there. You're pissed off about Larry. I absolutely feel you. Oh, yeah, it's shitty. And then Cody Blees abolished the ATF and the NFA. 110%. All right, 110%. Getting back over here to Tanner, which weapon light do you recommend for my M4s? Leaning towards something surefire, but can't decide which one. Have Leupold 210s on them. Yes, that will change my opinion. Turbo or mod light, something with a really high candela beam that allows you to get light on a target in a low light situation out at a distance. Of course, as we all know, flashlights will indicate your exact position, so keep that in mind. So if you have something with a wide throw at a distance, that's going to be a huge disadvantage because you won't be able to quickly identify your threat. But at something a little bit further away with candela, which focuses that beam, you go from having like a surefire stiletto, which, looks like that, to having this turbo surefire EDC, which looks like that. Notice that really focused beam. I have these out for the EDC discussion, by the way. That extended, that focused beam, that throw will help you identify a target under magnification a lot better than something with a higher lumen, which is more spread out. All right. So that will definitely affect my opinion on that case. Surefire just makes great shit, and I love the guys over there. They're awesome. Andrew, you never watch my live streams, but you're great, and I love you. So, of course, Andrew was featured in one of our recent videos at Ridgeline Defense talking about the new RC3 silencer. Expensive, but damn nice. That's for sure. Let's see here. We got Lily Ramsey. Good to see you. My daughter wants a low recoil light rifle like a 1022. What are comparable options? I want her to have a more effective round for self-defense or shit hits the fan. Loaded question. Get it? So, Lily, first of all, thank you so much for the super chat. Love the name, by the way. And on top of that, appreciate you being here. Your daughter wants a low recoil light rifle like a 1022. What are comparable options? I want her to have a more effective round for self-defense or shit has hit the fan. I'm going to say it. AR-15. An AR-15 is amazing. It's a fantastic rifle. It is one that I would definitely recommend for a defensive situation that you might be discussing here. It's going to have a lot more ass behind it. This is the M855. This is a 5.56 by 45 cartridge and round. This is not in focus. Now it is. This is what the M16, the M4, the SIG 416, MR556, so many different different rifles shoot because, for one, there's a lot of it out there. It's a very commonly used cartridge. It is a NATO cartridge, and it's something, quite frankly, I would recommend for the low recoil aspect and all that type of fun stuff. Now, of course, a 1022 is a really fun firearm. I absolutely love the Ruger 1022. And quite frankly, if used correctly in a defensive situation, the 1022 could be a very compelling firearm to use. Put it that way. Low recoil, able to get very quick and accurate follow-up shots. And to be quite frank with you, the 22 round, as anemic as many people might think it is, will kill you. It's better than nothing. And if what you're going for is very low recoil and light, then maybe the 1022 is the answer after all. But I digress, and I will say that the 5.56 cartridge it'll have a lot more a desired effect than a 22 cartridge on, let's just say, soft tissue. So on a bad guy, put it that way. So there you go. All right, I definitely would recommend that. And it's hard to beat an AR-15. All right. Rebellious Rory, thank you so much for that generous super chat. Again, that means a lot to me and everybody at the channel. Appreciate you. Love you too. Love y'all in your videos. Love to support it with everything going on. I'm looking into a 300 blackout truck gun, solid, and or backpack gun to keep at all times. Any recommendations? Dude, I was already thinking about fold AR, and you mentioned it. I was looking at the CMMG Descent or maybe a fold AR system. I love fold AR. I love what the guys are doing over there. I just haven't saved up the money for a fold AR yet. But in a small bag, you can have, again, one of these rifles that folds in two positions, right where pretty much right just forward of the upper receiver, and of course where the buffer tube is. The gun folds, becomes this cute little package, and then you just rip it open, lock it down, insert mag, chamber, and rock and roll. It takes seconds to get yourself, sending rounds downrange with a much more effective and even larger caliber than perhaps what your concealed carry would be if you're going for 300 blackout, right? So, similar. You get what I'm saying. So, I would definitely recommend the fold AR system, though they are costly. The CMMG Descent is also a fantastic option. 300 blackout is something I would recommend because, again, that cartridge, you can engage out to 300 yards effectively, no problem, depending on what your grain weight is, things like that, and also do that in a really compact system. So you've got really good options already. I don't think you need me to tell you anymore. You're looking at two quality manufacturers and brands. Run it. Find which one you think will work best for you. Thank you, Rebellious Rory. Again, appreciate you greatly. Clay Bailey. Good to see you, Clay. Thank you for the super chat. Jim Fuller, AK-105 or Knight's Armament SR-15. Your or Kaya's opinion. Kaya's off the stream right now. Sorry about that. But, damn, dude. Personally, I'd go with Jim Fuller's AK-105. Nothing against Knights. We've kissed and made up. It comes down to as cool and as fun as it would be to flex with an SR-15. I have a lot of ARs, chambered in 5.56, and they all do exactly what I want them to do. The Knight's Armament SR-15 would just be another gun that does exactly what I want it to do, chambered in 5.56. The AK-105, on other hand, is something I don't have and something I would really, really like. That's my choice. Bam. Sundowner. Which would be the better Apocalypse rifle? PWS long stroke, AR, or Adams Arms short stroke? I'm going to go PWS. I'm going to go PWS. Long stroke is less complicated. Less things to go wrong. Less moving parts. That's my final answer. All right. Continuing on. Daryl, Clint, should I trade two of my nicer rifles for nods? Well, if you're already asking the question, I'm just going to go ahead and say yes. And here's why. Because if you've already got two of your nicer rifles, that means you probably have other nicer rifles, which means you probably have other rifles that aren't as nice. So it's not like you, and it sounds like you probably wouldn't be missing these two, or maybe you'd occasionally think about them, but you'd then put on your dual tubes and you'd be like, but man, I'm happy. And as long as you're happy and you're proud of your purchase and proud of the actions it took to get there, that's all that matters. So I don't know what your nicer rifles are. I don't even know what nods you're looking at, but it's a whole different ball game and will be a lot of fun. Now, here's the thing. If two of your nicer rifles will get you just a set of night optics, that's great. But then you got to think about the illuminators, the lasers. Sometimes they can come into one, like like what I have on my M4, right here. See that? No, you can't because my arm's in the way. This over here, it's really hard to see right now, I know. But ultimately, that is the D-Ball A3. It is a visible laser, an IR laser, and IR illuminator. That costs money. So, and then however you plan on running these optics, whether it be with a helmet, you got to think about the mounting system and that type of fun stuff. It all gets very expensive very quickly. So just keep that in mind when you start pricing things out before you sell your two nicer rifles. And nods aren't for everybody. It's an expensive game to play. I'm still just running basic ass PVS 14 green cheap stuff. And I do well with it. Would I like to upgrade? Sure. Maybe one day. All right. But there you go. Daryl, thanks for the super chat. Let's get back over here. Best AR-15 5.56 pistol under $700. Latin Mac, thank you for the super chat. Under 700. Best. Let me do some research on that, because there's definitely options out there. I don't know if they're good options. If you're just looking for a range toy at the end of the day, something just to shoot for fun, yeah, I could mention a couple. But if you're looking for something that you might want to use in a defensive situation, in your vehicle, whatever else, home defense, let me think about that. All right, but thank you, Latin Mac, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you, Michael, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Matthew, real quick, Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Golden Grams? Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's ridiculous. Get out of here. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate the super chat. Richard Voss, is a shoulder holster an okay option for concealed carry, or should I get an inside the waistband, even though I don't personally like the way they feel? What are the drawbacks, if any, for EDC besides flagging people behind you? I was going to say, thanks, Richard, for the super chat. Shoulder holsters are cool when you're doing the entire Miami Vice thing. Are they practical? They can be, especially if you're middle of winter and you're wearing thick coats, stuff like that. Might not be as easy to get to, I don't know. It depends if you keep your jacket zipped up or not. But, Richard, so let's think about it, right? A lot of shoulder holsters have a button, too. You kind of have to reach in. So you open up the flap to your jacket, reach in, hit the leather in the little tab to release the button, pull out the gun, draw down. And whether your jacket is zipped or not, I still think it would be easier to go from the inside the waistband appendix inside the waistband. You know what I mean? Go here. I feel, and yeah, technically you're flagging the people behind you. If you're appendix inside the waistband, you're flagging the vitals. Vitals in a different sense. So. Yeah, over here on Rumble, the Ghoul Machine says shoulder holster is for sitting around the house. Yeah, it's definitely more comfortable. I can give you that. So there you go. All right. But there you have it. All right, let me hop over back to the live stream. I know I've been not ignoring you guys, but like I mentioned at the beginning, I want to get to the super chats, talk to y'all a little bit about everyday carry. What are y'all's preferred knives? You guys already know I'm a huge fan of Columbia River knife and tool. This one being the M16 14 SFG. I love this knife, and as you can tell, it is used heavily, and I do keep it sharp, which is something that I recommend everybody do. This is my multi-rolled knife. If I'm cutting boxes, if I'm cutting rope, if I'm defending myself, this is a great all-around tool. If I know I'm going to be going somewhere, I need to have a little bit more. If I'm wearing a suit, if I'm want to be a little bit more low vis, I do have a Benchmade shootout. This is a great option because, well, it is very sharp from the manufacturer, and the blade shoots out, hence the name. Very cool. Do these knives have their drawbacks? Yeah. I don't know if I fully trust it, in like a combat situation, but in a very quick get off me, this thing will work. And no, it's not going to fold up into itself or anything like that. Benchmade is a very quality brand. I trust them, and so therefore I am good with the Shootout. And because it's so light and slim, it also conceals very easily in thinner clothing, like in a suit, and so on and so forth. So there you have it. I showed off my lights a little bit earlier. Let me know if you guys are pocket carrying lights and whatnot, as you should. So there you go. All right. Continuing on here. I saw that I'm back a little ways there with Otter talking about Kaya taking a drink every time I say anyway. I'll just go ahead and do that myself. There we go. Let me get to some of the more recent ones. I am way behind. There we go. Dirt Nasty Civilian Gerber, because I'm cheap. Hey, Gerber makes some really good fixed blades, so I will say that, all right? Okay. Crazy One Mopar on Rumble. If you want to invest in NRA, I got a lot of substandard pocket knives I can trade. Yeah, the NRA with their pocket knives and shitty backpacks and range bags, right? Oh, geez. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Okay, Nick, how safe is it to put a brace on my pistol? What are alternatives? A stock. Now, if you're talking about how safe, are you talking about like physically safe or legally safe? Because physically safe, depending on what your pistol is, are you talking about like a standard handgun, you know, like an old broomstick Mauser that you want to put the stock attachment on, right? That's pretty freaking cool, because that's going to be completely fine. Are you talking about your AR pistol that you want to put a stock on, or excuse me, a brace on? Either way, you're going to be physically, you're going to be safe. That's, you know, especially if you go SB Tactical or, you know, some of the other braces that are out there, you're going to be fine. But if you're talking about legally, it's hard to say right now. So don't get caught. And you guys should all obey the laws all the time. So there you go. Dilly, yeah, is it safe for your dog? That might be the other question. Thank you. Let's see here. Michael, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Lots of sales on CZ Scorpion 3 Plus 9 mil. How hard is it to add a brace if the band is listed? Not hard. There's a lot of aftermarket support there. Not hard whatsoever. JC6683 at Classic Firearms. Clint, how can you define other friendly CCW people in a mass shooting? I'm a CCW person. I don't want to be mistaken as a bad guy and vice versa. And that's unfortunately a dangerous game we play, isn't it? And here's the way I look at it. How can you define or at least identify other friendly CCW people in a mass shooting? Well, first of all, you shouldn't be able to. Because if you can, then they are taking the whole gray man theory and doing the wrong thing. If you see somebody walking around with the Oakleys and, I don't know, a 511 ball cap, or perhaps even a Gun Owners of America ball cap, and let's say a plaid, but, you know, snap button up shirt, 511 tactical pants, and their Solomon shoes, that guy probably drives an FDE Tacoma and has an AR in his truck and definitely a T-Rex arms holster in his appendix. So you shouldn't be able to identify these guys. Now, you got to think, in all the chaos and everything else, the best thing you can do is if you're in a situation where the threat is in front of you, you have a clear line of sight, you can draw down on the guy. Let's just say, ideal situation. He's looking this way. You're looking directly at him. You can draw down on him and get a couple of clear shots off, neutralize the threat. The best thing for you to do at that moment is to get rid of the gun. Either reholster as fast as you can, keep it on you for sure, pocket, whatever. I would say reholster the gun as fast as you can, so that way people are asking, well, where did those come from? And then you get to safety. That's it. When law enforcement arrives, you can approach them and say, hey, I did this. Whatever. But that way, if anybody else is looking for a second target or anything, you are now part of the crowd. Duck down, whatever. Do what you got to do to protect yourself. That's the way I look at it. And then the moment you're done protecting yourself, go back to the way you were before. That is probably the best thing I can think of, unless you guys in the chat have something else that you can say. All right? So there you have it. Let me get back. Crap, where was that? Let me see if somebody else has gone over there. Never thought I'd see Clint say to comply. Did you see my face? Okay. All right. So, and also, I just want to throw it out there. No, I definitely am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. I want to throw that out there. Thank you, Keith, for that. All right. Let's see here. A couple more super chats rolled in over here. Davy Jones, another Ava Flanell collab, Miss Katie. Perhaps we'll see Ava again soon. Katie's doing her own thing, so good luck to her. And I would say another Ava Flanell collab could probably make that happen. You know, I could probably text her. So there you go. All right. And then we've got Matthew, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Transformers. I mean, dude, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I grew up with them more than I did Transformers, but I will say the Transformers movies, most of them are pretty freaking good, all right? They're pretty entertaining. So I will say that. All right. There we go. High angled hell. I drive a Chevy. Well, I guess you don't fit the description I mentioned earlier, all right? Some people are saying Transformers. Some people are saying TMND. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Oh, my goodness. Let me go back to some of the previous chats, too. Shit hits the fan. Mr. Do Things, 10 mil or 9 mil. 9 mil is going to be easier to find. 9 mil is going to be... I could carry more 9 mil. But 10 mil... 10 mil, 9 mil, you know, you versus the guy she told you not to worry about type of stuff. 10 mil is definitely a better round. I mean, the power this thing has is like solid. This is my FN 510 mag, by the way, one of them. So there you go. 10 mil. There you go. All right. Going back to Cinnamon Toast Crunch versus the other one that you mentioned. I don't know. But yeah, the other one didn't matter. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is where it's at. All right. Sorry for anybody that might have diabetes and just thinking about Cinnamon Toast Crunch might put you over the mark. So let's see here. I think we got a couple of other. We got Otter. Show us your everyday carry. Clint, keep it PG-13 though. By the way, I'm thinking about starting a Patreon. I feel like now's a good time to do that. You know, I'll figure it out. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to go off and start doing completely my own things, but, you know, I would like to do more interactions with the community, if you know what I mean. So, but as far as my everyday carry goes, unfortunately, I can't show you guys because YouTube will shut down the stream. I can't handle any firearms, but if you noticed, what's not in focus behind me, Otter, and anybody else that might be curious, is my SIG 365 macro. This is ultimately my everyday carry. It does have the Holosun 507 K2, HS 507, whatever. It's a red dot. And the Streamlight TLR 7A with the, as you guys already know, Alpha Mega Kydex holsters. This is a fantastic holster option. I rock it all the time and is one that I would recommend. And yes, it does conceal very nicely under a t-shirt and perhaps even a button-up shirt thrown over just for that extra non-visibility. All right. But let me back up just a little bit so the camera can focus slightly, and let me get out of the way. You probably can't see it all that well, but, you know, here gun. So there you go. All right. All right. So let me see. Did I miss any of the other super chats? I don't think so right at the moment. So very good there. Let me just hop back over to Rumble, make sure I'm not getting anything. When is the FN510 video coming out? I am loving mine. Alaska Ted, good to see you. And I guess I should probably like do that relatively soon. I mean, I got it sitting right here. I mean, here's the, not on camera. There we go. That's just me dropping the extendo mag for it. And yes, I keep my guns loaded. Why? Because an unloaded gun is useless unless you need a melee tool. So anyway, that's the extendo mag, 22 rounds of 10 mil. Pretty freaking gnarly. Love that shit. And I think that's probably something I can actually probably do. Could probably do it this week. Get it out for maybe next week or in a couple weeks. Then again, our schedule is wild. We filmed videos like a month ago that are now coming out today. So pretty wild. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Does anyone wonder why Classic Firearms isn't a verified channel yet? YouTube don't like guns all that much. Just saying. All right. So there you go. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. Let me get to some more of these chats over here. All right. Carry option advice when needing to tuck in a shirt. So you can get away with that with the Filster Enigma. That I think is a solid option. That is a really good way to go. You can also collaborate. I have mine sitting right over there, the Filster Enigma. It has its own belt system, so it doesn't need to rely on pants or a belt to keep itself up. And it can collaborate, if that's the right word, pair with other popular holsters out on the market, like Alpha Omega Kydex, that screw right onto the actual system. So if you already have a Kydex holster that you like, let's say I wanted to rock this one, I could remove these and then take this and put it on the Filster Enigma or the Filster holster and, remove the belt loops, screwed onto the Enigma, and now you're there. I am going to knock over this microphone. I should really just use my freaking earbuds or whatever. But so there you have it. So that's definitely a great option there. As far as tucking in a shirt goes, probably, yeah. And I get a cosign on that from Caleb. Thank you, Caleb. Enigma is great for tucked in shirts. So there you go. I said turked in shirts. Kaya was just here. I got confused. So continuing on over here. You can always prison carry, Jack Squat says. Prison carry is probably something I wouldn't recommend. In the old prison wallet. Not something I would do. Sean Zimmerman, Clint, that knife did open and close with one button, or one to open and one to close. There it is. It's just a little switch. When I hit said switch, I'll try to do this on camera where it's focused. Push it forward, shoots out, pull it back, comes back. They're not cheap, but they are cool. So there you go. So is life. All right. So there you have it. Let's go. Jessica Simp 44. That's funny. FN Mini-Me history episode request because of the super interesting U.S. saw tender trials of the 1970s. Oh, that's exciting. Yes. So Graham, that is Photogenic Firearms, would have a field day with this topic. The Mini-Me is ultimately the 240, but there are some changes there, and that is something that we can definitely talk about. I think that would be a pretty good one, especially if we ever do like a 240. It would have to be semi-auto, unfortunately, but a 240 contest one day. Not saying it won't happen, but there you go. We're not saying it's a for sure thing, but you guys get what I'm saying, all right? Let's see here. Jimbo Alogo. Clint, when you buy a new gun, do you clean it before shooting it? Nope. Sure don't. I don't think I've ever cleaned a gun. I think so. Okay. I won't say I will never, but I never have and probably never will, like, break down and clean a gun before cleaning it, before shooting it. Will I add lubrication, like some gun butter or something, some CLP on the essential parts? Yeah, but not every time. A lot of the times I want to make sure the gun works right out of the box without any lubrication or anything. Like, did they send me a piece of shit or did they send me something that's going to run, right? That's what I did with our buddy Daryl Rostick, Smart Shooters LLC. I took the gun right out of the box, loaded it with the mag it came with, didn't even throw sights on it. I just went right into the freaking yard and just pop, 30 rounds flawless. I was like, all right, solid. Now I've got it dressed up kind of how I like it with different, mags, and run it a couple of different times to Lancer, Steel mags, P mags, and solid. Have I lubed it up? Nope. Will I? Once it starts to fail me, when will that be? I don't know. So that's how I feel about it. Granted, I'm in a different situation because I do a lot of this to offer my feedback and experience to manufacturers and to you, the public. Now, if it's me privately, like when I got my M4R3 or my LMT, the answer's still the same. No, I've never. Just no. That was a very long answer for what could have been a short answer. So sorry about that, but there you go. Otter, Clint doesn't clean his guns. You heard it here first. I will occasionally clean my guns. I actually recently cleaned one of my AKs, my Pestilence, and my Mark 18. Believe it or not, I actually cleaned my Mark 18 and my Mark 12 not too long ago because I shoot all of those pretty much a majority of the time suppressed, and the Mark 18 needed it bad, really bad, like really bad. And again, I don't spend a lot of time cleaning, I'll be honest with you. Soak it in some oil and wipe off the excess, take a brush, make sure things are nice and pretty there in the chamber, and not much more I really do. Obviously a bore snake through the barrel, clean the muzzle device off so that way when the silencer locks on, it locks on nice and tight. I don't spend a lot of time cleaning guns, though. No, I do not. And car tap, nice, I'll spit on it. Was that in reference to a different statement or question earlier? Because what are we talking about here? Continuing on. Let's see here. Vu Win, good to see. Understandable. Just wondering, just in case it affects the gun's hammer, springs, etc. over a long period of time. And if we're talking about cleaning, then yeah, I'm sure it can, but yeah, there you go. Jonathan Yee, if a gun has to be cleaned before firing it, it better be surplus used. Oh, thank you. Caveat, separate. If it is a used gun, I will actually disassemble it to make sure everything looks good before I take it out and shoot it. And surplus. Thank you. A new gun out of the box, though? No. Thank you, Jonathan, for making that statement, because that was going to go right over my head, all right? So there you go. Let's see here. I see Rumble, a couple of you guys over here on Rumble as well. Let's see here. 30-30 lever guys, iron sight, thumb up. It's just my shoulder hurt. Can't be. Don't know 30-30, but 45-70 irons is fire. The Ghoul Machine, any opinions on 22 TCM? Where is its place in the toolbox? I don't have a 22 TCM. Therefore, it doesn't have a place in my toolbox. That doesn't mean it doesn't deserve a place at all. It's not around I have any experience with whatsoever, so it's something I'll have to look into. Let's see. Crazy One Mopar, I would always put any 22 on lists. Yeah, 22s are solid. Crazy One Mopar responding to Alaska Ted, AK Ted, dude had on range 45 Marlin and can shot was click and plink at 50 yards. I fell in love with it. It was side ejected scope. Set was great experience. I want one. 4570 is a lot of fun. I absolutely love 4570. I've got, you guys already know I've got my Henry all-weather. Just look at this round. Look at it. Bask in the glory that is the carnage of 4570. What this round can do to large game and whatnot is incredible. And it's a lot of fun to shoot. So there you have it. 4570 is awesome. Jessica Simp 44, thanks Clint. One day there will be an FN Mini-Me history episode with the FN mag. God, that would be really freaking awesome. Let's see here. Generally, do you have any experience with the ETS AR-15 magazines? I bought 2 of them, and they don't engage the mag catch very well. Unfortunately, I don't think I have much experience with the ETS AR mags, so sorry about that, all right? Let's see here. Let's get back. Tanner. That's Matthew. Matthew Thomas Shawshank or Forrest Gump? Ooh. I feel like I'll watch Forrest Gump. Man, I'm gonna go Forrest Gump. It's Forrest Gump for me. But I think Shawshank might be a better movie. That one's hard, man. The entertainment factor is there. The it's such a quotable movie. Forrest Gump. It's Forrest Gump. All right, there you go. Let's see. Before I get to that one, Tanner, you were next up. Bought my wife the P365 Macro Comp Rose. Solid choice. She loves it. Came with a fancy little safe too. Not a Liberty safe. No, I think it comes with the Vault-Tec cases. I did get my beautiful significant other also a 365 Rose as well. And yes, they are solid. She loves hers also. So there you go. Good job, Tanner. Solid choice. I'm sure she absolutely loves that. And let's go. Let's see here. Thank you, Tanner, for the super chat, of course. Be Strong 1. Clint, love your content, brother. Thank you. What do you think is the best defensive 5.56? Personally, I like the IMI Razor Core. Ammo. Got it. And some bonded soft points. God bless. Well, you see what's stacked behind me. That is what wasn't loaded into magazines, and I typically keep this on my desk to talk about because I too am a fan of the 77 grain IMI Razor Core. However, I did a lot of shooting with the Mark 262 Black Hills over at Ridgeline Defense out of 11.5 inch BCM with the RC3 at 25 yards, 50 yards, 100, 175, 200, 300, 400, out to even 500, I believe. And that is just such a consistent, solid round. I have not done the same type of shooting with the IMI Systems Razor Core, but it's still 77 grain, hollow point, bow tail match. So it's still going to do exactly what I want to do, I believe. I like that ammo a lot. So there you go. God bless you as well. Thank you, Be Strong 1. Mike Riley, budget $1,500. 7.62x39 rifle. Well, the irony is it's going to be harder to find an AK worth the money that's more budget friendly. And this is when I need Matt, because I always recommend Zastava. Zastava's like, the go-to when it comes to 7.62x39, like the M70. It's probably where I would go. All right. Otter, good to see you again. With all these gun and optic purchases you make, tell us how many microfiber cloths you have. It is really funny you say that, because there's one right there. Tell us how many microfiber cloths. It's okay. This is a safe space. You can tell us. I have no count whatsoever. This one's not branded, is it? A lot of them will actually brand theirs. Feels kind of cheap, though. But I don't know. But there it is. There's a little mini microfiber cloth. Dude, I've got so many different optics I've been testing, too, from, Swamp Fox, Hollow Sun, Vortex, whatever it might be. They just all... There's so many. Dozens. Literally dozens of these little things. So there you go. Thanks, Otter, for the super chat. Appreciate you guys. Let's see here. The FN Mini-Me is originally based on the FN Mag, but then being reshaped and designed and inspired by the FN FNC. Yes, which we all know the FNC is, of course, very popular. Was made very popular, as was the Galil, as was the beautiful mag reload by Val Kilmer in the movie Heat. Al Pacino running around with the FNC. Fucking cool. So there you go. What? What is happening? I am willing to bet, Halaya, that Otter has a gambling problem. What did I miss? No, she just works hard. All right, there you guys go. Mork, Clint, do you store ammo in cans with or without their box? I have always wondered what other people do. Yeah, I usually just dump all the ammo in an ammo can, throw in a couple of those little silica packets to keep it dry, lock it up. Well, latch it up. I don't throw a lock on it. I typically don't keep the boxes quite simply because they take up more space, and I can just get more loose ammo in a can than I can. There's a lot of cans being said here. Than I can with ammo that's just in the box. So personally, that's what I do. There you go. Now, of course, what you see behind me, is obviously it looks cool for the video and all, and it's also more readily available. I can just run over here, grab a box if I need to. So, yeah, there you go. But most of the time, yeah, it's going to be loose in a can somewhere, and I usually have the can identified as to what the ammo is. If it's going to be like my range ammo, 55 grain basic shit, that goes in one clearly marked box. If it's my 300 blackout, that's also going to go in a really clearly marked box. If it's my 300 blackout subsonic, that's going to go in a clearly marked box. If it's 77 grain, 62 grain, that's going to go in a box. 9mm 115 versus 124 versus defensive loads. Those are all going to get their respective boxes. And so that way I never mix anything up, right? And so that's how I typically do that. Do I have a lot of ammo cans laying around? Yep. Am I mad about it? Nope. So there you go. Again, I can't really handle firearms. So, that sucks. It's YouTube. I think Instagram too, because I was thinking about going live on Instagram, but I think they shut live streams down too the moment you start handling firearms. So Rumble, I don't think is with that bullshit. So if I just do a live stream just on Rumble or Twitch, I think it's pretty cool with it. Then I could do that. But you guys have seen it before. Just type in classic firearms, maybe Meridian Defense, AK videos. You'll see my 69 marked Pestilence pop up, all right? So there you go. Matthew Thomas. Congratulations, Clint. All three answers were correct. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. TMNT, Forrest Gump. You have impeccable taste, sir. Great minds think a lot. Cheers to you. Think a lot? Well, that's true. But they also think alike. So cheers to you. All right. Sean Zimmerman, Clint, LOL. Sean, LOL. All right. You don't use a fiber cloth in battle. You spit on your optic and rub it with your shirt. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'll just say that, all right? Let's see. I do roll my own Mark 262 mod. 1 clone ammo, firearms, fuel, and fabrication. That's pretty dope. Nice. And let's see here, Anthony Lawrence, what do you think about the IWI Jericho 941? I just picked one up and love it. I, too, really, really like the IWI Jericho. They're solid pistols. All right. Tyler Fadrigan. That's it, right? Let me know. Let's see here. Thoughts on a 16-inch M4 clone for a truck setup as it's for the truck, looking for a budget option. You think PSA is reliable enough here? Yeah, I would say so. And a 16-inch M4 clone, 16-inch, this will be memed. 16 inches is a lot, all right? And if you can go shorter for a truck clone setup, I would recommend that. But again, if you don't want to play with pinning and welding, you don't want to play with the NFA, you're concerned about where the law is going to go with pistol braces and things like that, totally get it. Maintain that minimum of 16 inches. And yeah, I believe an M4 clone would be a great truck setup. They're maneuverable enough, right? And so, and you can do it. Right? I mean, when I was running the drills in and out of the vehicles, shooting through the windshield, stuff like that at Ridgeline not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago, we had, again, an 11.5-inch barrel with a 6-inch can out the front of it. So, there you go. And we were able to maneuver that just fine. It just depends on, honestly, this might sound wild, and depending on where you live, it might be easier than others. But try to go ahead and get some drills in your vehicle. I wouldn't recommend shooting through your windshield, but, to each their own. But and also keep in mind your height over bore. So if you're going to be shooting, let's say out the passenger side, and you're getting those shots forward of the vehicle, remember your side view mirror, because your optic will sit higher than what your bore will. And if you're aiming at your target, is your barrel aiming at your target too, or is it aiming right at your side view mirror that you're looking over and your barrel is set up right against, right? So height over bore is a very important thing. Keep that in mind. But if you can find a way to maneuver inside of a vehicle to shoot in and around it and engage targets at different positions of the vehicle, do that. Again, the fun factor is there. And, just be mindful. Move slowly initially until you get more comfortable with it. And also do it with, don't do it all in the same position. You know what I mean? Phrasing, I know. But if you can change it up a little bit to where the target is in reference to where you are inside the vehicle, do that. So I know, Take Aim, they allow us to go out there, and I've never seen them yell at anybody else. If they wanted to shoot out of their vehicle, you pull out in front of the pistol range there that you can shoot your rifles at. It's a 25-yard lane. As long as you're careful and safe about it, try to find places that you can do that, all right? So there you go. Let's see here. Bobby Berry, Clint takes care of his nice cans. Rebellious Rory truck gun, I'd recommend 300 Blackout. Would not disagree with that whatsoever. IWI Zion or Stag 15 Tactical. Oh, man. Every now and then, I love IWI and the Zion 15 out of the box, fantastic. And then I remember, I always forget about Stag sometimes, and I'm sorry. Scott, I'm sorry, buddy at Stag. I don't mean to, because you guys do make a fantastic rifle. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. It's just something's always kind of pulled me towards the Zion for whatever reason. But the Stag 15 Tactical, I've got the Stag competition model, and that gun runs great. I truly would honestly recommend both of them. Okay. It just really comes down, do you want the B5 Systems furniture? Does the Stag Tactical offer different furniture? That really is the question to ask, because either way you're going to get a quality rifle. I believe that thoroughly. Stag 15, here we go. Magpul furniture, solid choice. I do believe so. This is the Stag 15 with the nitride barrel and 5.56 with a fixed magazine. What did I click on? That's not what I want. I want the Stag 15 Tactical. I don't want no fixed barrel. It's coming in at about $1,000. There we go. That's the basic M4. For that price, with just a basic like A2 grip and M4 stock, I'd probably go with the IWI. But if they have some of the aftermarket, like some of the better furniture that you can get, depending on what the price is, I would definitely take a look at that. They've got like the Stag 15 tactical rifle, 5.56 nitride tactical Tiger right now for a great price. And we're talking under $900. Well, that's out of stock. I'm sorry about that. So, there's definitely options out there. There we go. They got the Stag 15 Tactical, chrome phosphate barrel, 30-round mag, not a fixed mag or anything like that. Good prices, too. It really just comes down to the furniture at that point and what you might be looking for. So that's how I feel about that. I got both, honestly. But if I'm doing long-term storage, I've got metal cans. All right. Let's see here. Get to a couple more before I start to call it a day. Clint, make a drawing of your AK. You can show it that way. Thanks, Otter, for the advice. And I'm going to lie to you and tell you I don't have anything to write with or on right now. Right? There you go. Let's see here. Never mix brands. Keep them in a box if you can loose them. If you have a problem, best know which lot and such. Yes. Your spelling is not great here, but you're absolutely right, Sean. Don't mix brands, manufacturers, things like that. You'll notice what's called a lot number, like on the front of the box here. If you ever have an issue with the ammunition, it's good to take note of that, because you can report that back to the manufacturer, let them know, hey, I'm getting, I'm getting primer strikes, solid primer strikes, but no detonation. I'm getting really bad accuracy or shot placement, whatever. You can report that back to them, and you can see if there's an ongoing issue with that lot. Depending, sometimes maybe they'll work with you as well and see if you can get that, I don't know, maybe they work with you some. But there you go. IWI Zion over there. So there you go. Rebellious Rory, love to see a rough draw of your AK. Oh my God. 4570, Steve Hughes says, seems a bit overkill for squirrel hunting. I mean, yeah, for squirrel hunting, yeah, it would be for sure. So I definitely recommend probably not 4570 for squirrel hunting. 22 is probably going to do the job for you, all right? But let's see here. I want to get to a couple more of the super chats that I just saw come in. So let's go ahead and do that. Got a few of them back to back here. And let's go ahead and take a look. So we've got Christopher, Simplify Brother, Simplify to you. Thoughts on 22 Creedmoor? I don't have any experience with 22 Creedmoor. I'll be honest with you. Is it like long distance 22? I mean, if you want to like, varmint hunt, pest hunt from like, afar, it sounds pretty dope. Something I'll have to take a look at. Thank you, Chris, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Ben T, I'm setting up a backup 16-inch M60X rifle, and I'm undecided on copying my LPVO setup for consistency or going with the 3X Prism for range of use. A backup rifle. So, I mean, if you want to make a complete clone of what you have already, then sure, go ahead and do that. Personally, I would probably have one set up for mid to far, another one set up for mid to close, things like that, so a 3X Prism for range of use, I feel like would be a really good option there, because if you've got an LPVO set up on one of your rifles as it is, then you go with a 3X Prism, go with an ACOG that's 4X, go with something else of that Prism world. You can, and yeah, it might be a little bit more versatile. In a sense, LPVO, obviously, depending on what your variable is also a very versatile setup. May not be as durable as a Prism, but I personally would go with something different. So there you go. Matthew, good to see you again. Reading Rainbow, DuckTales, not the show, the intro song. This one is tough. Man, the 90s. Reading Rainbow. Can never get over that opening, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. All right, you know what I mean. J954, love you, brother. Thank you. Love you too, man. I want a same MG Banshee in 10 mil, but I already have an 8-inch 5.56 stamped SBR. Go ahead and buy the PCC or invest in more ammo. All right. The Banshee in 10 mil will probably be better than an 8-inch 5.56. Quite frankly, I think the 10 mil will be better in CQB, in close quarters, than an 8-inch 5.56. Now, it's cool that you have a stamped SBR. That's awesome. That's fine. But I've always said 8-inch, anything under 10.3 for 5.56, I always thought was kind of ridiculous. But at the same time, the cool factor is there, right? You got this shorty. If you can, you got a silencer that will take the abuse that an 8-inch 5.56 will give it and throw that on there. You've got yourself one hell of a cool thing. But you also, because it's a SBR, swap that upper out for something else too. But personally, I'd probably go with the how much ammo do you have? That's the other question. If you already got like a few thousand rounds of 5.56, I'd be happy with that. But It depends on how much ammo you already have. If you don't have any 5.56 ammo, get ammo. If you got plenty enough that you're comfortable with, get the Banshee and 10 mil. But keep in mind, that's unless you already have another 10 mil that you've been saving up ammo for, that's more ammo you would have to invest in. So there you go. All right. Let's see over here. Chase, good to see you. Thank you, Chase. If you could choose any AR platform, what would it be? Like 5,000 rounds of 5.56. That's solid. So I'd probably go 10 mil or something like that. But Chase, if you could choose any AR platform, what would it be? If I could choose any AR platform, what would it be? Simply because I don't have one, I would love a true HKMR 5.56 or the 416 with the ambidextrous controls. Love that. You know, I don't have an HK. And, you know, it's AR platform-esque enough. It has a buffer system. It's not like a completely different redesign like an MCX or something like that doesn't have a buffer system. So, yeah, I'd probably go with the HK. That's what I think I would say. So, yeah, there you go. Let's go up here. I'm still spamming the 100 car tap. Is that like that TV show, the 100? I missed what you were spamming. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Clint, you got me into the Canic. You are so right on how smooth that racking is and that short trigger reset. ECD a Canic TP9SF Elite. I'm telling you guys, they're freaking awesome. They do really, really well. Thank you, Keith. Cheers to you. There you go. Ghillie Shooter, the answer is to talking about the CMMG or the SBR ammo. The answer is to get that 10 millimeter upper for the SBR lower. Yeah, there. I mean, it's got a solid point there. So there you go. Talking about the previous question, Josh Clemens, I think it's going to come down to your barrel and what type of still it's made from. Shit. What are we talking about? I missed it. But continuing on over here. Canic TP9SF, Mason Somerville, owner right here. There you go. Josh, even though you didn't love the MC9, what didn't you love about it? Let me know, all right? And here's something else, too, I just saw. Halea 1925. Don't send your money to Turkey. Well, the thing is, the money is already in Turkey, right? You're ultimately buying now from U.S. companies that already have that gun. So, yeah, I get it. The sales will indicate a success to a Turkish company. But at the end of the day, they're doing a lot in the U.S. It's a shitty thing to be involved in, I guess. But I feel you. I see where you're coming from. I'd still buy Russian AKs. You know what I mean? If I could find some like the poly Chinese M14s, I'd still probably buy one of those too, you know? So, I don't know. I see where you're coming from. I'm not going to take it out on the gun, though. So, there you have it. Mitch Patrick, 2395. Good to see you, man. Hey, Clint, best reflex for a Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS when I get my hands on one to train for my concealed pistol license with. Well, you guys know I love the Trijicon RMR. They just came out with the RMR HD, which is a solid optic for you guys to take a look at. You know, what do I have? I've got a... They also make really great... The MOS system is neat because you can get all these different footprints. So, I mean, if you wanted to go with a closed emitter like the Aimpoint Acro, you could do that as well. These are going to be a little bit more durable. They're also going to be a little bit more resilient to pocket lint to dirt and debris. So that's something, too, to take into consideration. There's a lot of different, like the Steiner MPS that we've tested was really good. Even the Kraken by Swamp Fox. Solid little closed emitter red dot, or a green dot, however you want it, dot. So there's all sorts of different options there. It depends really if you want to go closed or open emitter. But for the size and everything, the RMR, yeah, it's pricey, but there's a reason for that at the end of the day. Even though on my 365 behind me, I do have the Holosun HS507 K2, or KHS05, HS507 KX2. I think that's it. And so that's just a solid little dot also. But anyway, let's see here. Continuing on, let me get to a couple more. I'm starting to get a little tired here, guys. Been a long day working from home in the bunker. But I will definitely get to a couple more comments here before I decide to cut it out. Chilled Banana 2 on Rumble. Clint, do you feel that your current LE Smith & Wesson trade-ins are a solid deal? Well, yeah. I love all of the law enforcement trade-ins that we get in. And I'm not just saying this because I work for Classic Firearms either. I mean, granted, I would say, yeah, I've seen some better and whatnot. I mean, if that were the case. But what we've got right now are pretty freaking solid. So I was just there, and I think it's pretty freaking cool. So check them out, all right? And Huxworks Ventum, thoughts? Don't worry. We'll be doing a video on that very, very soon. Stay tuned, View. All right. Ty's wanting to get me started on what's happening right now. Another push to take away our guns while leaving the border open on purpose. It's not if they're already here. They are. The question is, when will a coordinated and effective attack happen here in the United States? We already see it every day with crime, with mass murderers like what we saw in Maine. But when will it be carried out, again, with coordination and strategy over the entirety of the U.S., like what we saw recently in Israel, right? Granted, landmass alone, the United States is huge. We're a very big country. We have over 300 million citizens. But we are also the most armed populace in one nation in the world. It would be one hell of a fight, right? Or do you think there's too many people that maybe they wouldn't be willing to fight? They might have all the guns you could ever ask for. But that's just their collection. That's just their investments. A bunch of FUDs, if you will. I don't know. I would like to think that a majority of this country would rise up if there was an invading force, and those weapons of war that they want removed from the streets, I do hope that these same weapons of war would be flooding the streets of individuals ready to go to war for their country. If only we had a country worth fighting for. No, I do believe this country's still worth fighting for. It's its government that I despise. Where's our representation? Truly, where is it? A lot of these people that we currently have representing us aren't representing us. They're representing, well, whoever's filling their pockets. The border is open. It's already been confirmed that individuals on terrorist watch lists have made their way into the United States from the southern border. Hate 'em or love 'em, Vivek Ramaswamy, he showed just how compromised our northern border is. Now, granted, we're not seeing the influx of criminals and terrorists coming from the northern border like we are in the southern border, but it does show just how easy he walked, literally, I do believe, from Vermont or New Hampshire right into Canada, or at least showed it, that how easy that would be. Like, hey, here's Canada. It's right there. It's right there. There's no fence. There was a creek. A creek he had to walk over. Our border is not secure. And quite frankly, that's not good. That's really not good. So, Gilly Shooter says the gun doesn't get to choose its parents. Yeah, that's true. That's very true, you know. Gio, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well, boss. Sorry I'm late. Was pretty busy, but hope the stream is going well, too. Yeah, the stream's going really well. Getting some good comments in here, talking with all you guys. And happy that you all are here. Shouldn't even started to talk about our representatives. My hair, sorry, guys. Looking a little crazy. I'll put the hat back on. Sometimes hat hair is good to me. But yeah, they're still getting paid while not doing their jobs properly, or just not doing their jobs. Yeah. So there you go. Border's been wide open for 40 years, and it still is. And yeah, you know, John, I agree with you. It's your duty as a citizen to stand up and defend, you know, but let's be honest. You look at society today, there's a lot of us, perhaps maybe in this live stream, there's a lot of us that, you know, would do the necessary things, I think. But the issue is there's going to be more people, I think, concerned with whether or not they're going to be entertained. They're going to have a grocery store or a fast food restaurant nearby. And I just don't think they're going to be all that concerned with fighting, you know? So as long as you keep them entertained and keep them fed, and I think they'll also really appreciate hot showers too, you know? Because all of that kind of goes away. Self-reliance and self-preservation, when I talk about these things on my own social media, when I talk about these things here, I'm not just talking about everyday carry and drawing down on a potential mass murderer or assailant or criminal or whatever it might be. It's a much larger picture than that. Self-preservation. Can you save yourself even if we don't have an invading force, but just do a natural disaster? Are you prepared for that? Do you have food supply? Do you have the means for renewable food sources, water sources? And then comes down the potential, again, as we were talking earlier about shit hits the fan, right? Shit hits the fan scenarios can change like that. The first shit hits the fan scenario is natural disaster strikes. It could be a really bad snowstorm. It could be a hurricane. It could be a tornado. It could be all sorts of things that naturally occur. And then let's say you survive that. Now all of a sudden shit hits a fan because there's a mob desperate to have what, let's say, maybe you've prepared for: food, water, firearms, ammunition, things to be able to survive, right? Now they want to come and take that. New shit hits the fan scenario, multiple attackers, right? Next shit hits the fan scenario, you're wounded by said attackers, or one of your loved ones is. Now you got to take care of them. Shit hits the fan. You know, when we talk about these SHTF scenarios and everything, it can change like that. It's fluid. It's not just, oh, zombies are coming, so I'm going to grab a 22 because they're the slow movers like in The Walking Dead, and all I got to do is pierce the skull, right? Easy day. So, as a nation, I don't think we're ready. I don't think we have been for quite some time. So, Otter, are you still here? Anyway, saw a couple more super chats come through really quick. Let's get over here to Vince. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Clint, thank you for simply just being a fellow patriot. Yeah. Thank you, man. I greatly appreciate that. And all I can do is hop on here where I got a decent platform and talk with a lot of like-minded individuals. And maybe you're not like-minded. Maybe you think completely differently. And if you do, that's completely cool. I hope to maybe get a better understanding of where you're coming from. And I hope you get a better understanding of where I think a lot of others might be coming from, you know? So, high angled hill. Love you, Clint. It's all going to be all right. It will be for me because I made sure it will be for me. What about the rest of you? Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of you as my neighbors. And that's something I've been working on here in my community and letting people know, right? Hey, this is who I am. Would love for you to come over sometime. Let's grill out. Let's get to know each other a little bit better. And that's all it takes, right? Little community cookout, neighborhood cookout, something like that, to find out who's like-minded and who might not be, but you might get on the same page when you realize what's going on in the world. And you realize that together strong, you know? So there's so many things that you guys can do to help create a stronger society. And look, for as many things Ronald Reagan did wrong, he did say one thing that was correct. His humor was great, but his little Reaganisms were good. True change starts at the dinner table. And be honest with yourselves. How many of you, and I know I contribute probably not positively during dinner time starting at 7 p.m. on Mondays on occasion, but how many of you truly sit down with your family, or even if it's just you and your boyfriend or girlfriend that might be living together, you know, sit down, put the phones away, and just have a conversation over dinner that either one of you made or you even ordered takeout, right? Preferably a dinner that either one of you made via your own resources, right? Now you're winning. Technology, as wonderful as it is, especially the advances perhaps in medicine and things like that, has really set us back as well. Again, it's launched us forward in a lot of ways. I mean, here I am talking to all of you guys right now about exercising our rights and saying things that I think truly would help this country. But also, it's really distracted us from the things that are important in life, like each other, right in front of one another, right? True change starts at the dinner table, and if you want to see something very positive, I think that's something that, you know, needs to happen. So, way too evil. Camping. Camping, I think, is a wonderful family thing to do. Get out, get away from everything and everybody, and go do that. Family dinner for the win. Yeah, you know. So there you go. And, you know, practice what I preach, right? Thank you, Mason. Classic Farm should host a cookout open event on the day it opened. Everyone that's subscribed to CF is invited, and we share our love for USA. You know, Palmetto State Armory has their get-together. You know, Iraq Vet does their thing. And I've brought this up about hosting an event like that. And I think it would be fun because it's something we could definitely do at Take Aim, I believe. But, you know, we might need a little bit more space. Or if it's something we sold tickets to, right? Now, I'm not saying, like, you know, just reserve tickets for, you know. The reason I think selling tickets for something like that is to make sure that if you invest some money into something, you're more likely to show up. So that way somebody who really wants to be there that may have missed out on acquiring a ticket, you know, doesn't get left out. But like, you know, something cheap, like $5, you know, for like 100 tickets, right? Because that I think could easily accept, Take Aim, I think could accept 100 people, no problem. You know, we bring some guns, we bring some food, and we have a good time. You know what I mean? And then in the evening, I'll tell you guys what bar I'm going to be going to. So, there you go. Vince, as much as I agree with everything you are saying, this conversation is more important to me at this moment. We need to be vigilant and aware. Too many people have their blinders on, and they do. And this is one of the most effective tools to be blinded by. You know, I walk around in public places all the time now, and I just look, just observe, right? And it's been this way for years. But truly, at the airport, I'm flying all the time at the airport. You know, and granted, I'll have my AirPods in. I might be listening to a podcast or music as I'm walking through the airport, but I keep them on transparency so that way I can hear everything going on around me, and everything else is in a low volume, right? And you just, how many times people don't look up from their damn phones and they're walking through a crowded airport and they almost run into you or somebody else. It's mind-blowing. And it's like you would think they'd learn after the first time, but then they're like, oh, sorry, and they go right back to it. It's like, wow. And you can't help but to think, if something bad were to pop off right now, holy shit, fish in a barrel, right? Oh, man. Fun times, guys. So let's conclude tonight with a more positive note, though. All right? Let's talk about something. Gilly Shooter. That's why you got to plant yourself so they're on their ass when they look up. keep that right leg strong, you know, and that's that. John Phillips, last time I was in Charlotte at a nice hotel, truck got broke into, plus multiple other vehicles. They were only stealing firearms. I'll pass on Charlotte. Don't keep your vehicle in your car. Yes, I love my Grayman tactical Molly system in my vehicle for my rifles and stuff like that if I'm going on a road trip, whatever. But the first thing I do is whenever I get to where I'm going, I take the guns out. Gun stays with me. Unless by law it can't because I'm flying or whatever and it has to go to TSA. The gun will stay with me. I don't leave firearms in my vehicle. And that's the first joke that's ever made when people see that. It's like, you know, when they see like on my social or whatever, like, oh, well, that's a free LMT or whatever. And it's like, well, first of all, I'd shoot you. And secondly, no, it's not, because it's not going to be there for you to take. Now, if you're to break in, sure, you might be able to take my Molly system, you know, whatever. That's easily enough replaced, but you're not going to get any of my guns because there's none in there. So they're on me. So, you know, guys, don't. Exactly. Guns are in the hotel room. And do you have any vehicles in your car? Is that something I said? Did I say that? It's not what I meant. You know what I meant. But yeah, there we go. Keep your car out. Damn it. I don't know what I said, but whatever. I'll go back and watch it later. But yeah, don't keep any firearms in your car. All right. And maybe you drive a big enough truck to where you can actually keep a vehicle on your vehicle, okay? So there you go. Oh, gosh. But who the fuck leaves their gun in the car? Do you leave your garage door opener in your house? Yeah, that's the other thing. Your garage door openers. Yeah. You know, don't leave those in your car too. They're easy for the taking. So, if you're parked outside or whatever, you know. So, just don't leave anything visible either, you know. Basic simple shit at the end of the day. But there you go. And going back to this comment, though, by Jaron, guns are in the hotel room. That's something you guys kind of got to be careful about, though, because I know a lot of hotels, they either want you to keep your firearms at the front desk. That happened to James Reeves, the firearm blog, when they used the bell service, the bellhop or whatever, to deliver their luggage up to their room, which I don't fault them for it. I mean, hell, here at Classic, we carry all sorts of camera equipment and everything else like that whenever we go to SHOT Show. So, yeah, they used a service that the hotel provides to deliver their stuff up there. But whenever at the Venetian they do that, they actually run everybody's luggage through a scanner, like what you see at the TSA. And if you have firearms, they actually keep them. I don't know where. I'm not going to say behind the front desk because that would seem very irresponsible. But they keep them, I guess, in a storage closet, locked facility, I would hope, but away from you. So when you travel, try not to make it too obvious that you're traveling with firearms and you go into a hotel room. When I stayed at the Circus, which I do not recommend, for Red October a few years ago, I had my Pelican case, walked right through the lobby, walked right through the casino, got into the elevator, made my way up, and somebody said, "Oh, well, what do you have in there?" "Camera equipment." "It's none of your business." So there you go. All right. And that's why backpack guns are important. There you go. So there you have it. All right. Do you have any homes in your house? Ah, man. I say one thing. One thing. All right. Oh, gosh. The barefooted gardener. I'm stuck in Western New York, so the truck guns are not even a consideration. Yeah. Don't keep your vehicle in your car. Dude, you guys heard. Like I said, I was getting tired, all right? So there you go. You technically you could have a vehicle on your car. He's right. I know. Okay? I know. You could. So there you go. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation or A Christmas Story. Christmas Story. Christmas Story. That's that one for me, all right? But there you go. And Dilly give a fuck. Agrees. So there you go. Everyone should have a Shorty 5.56 backpack gun. I keep my gun in my butt barrel sticking out. Safety off. Don't bend me. Don't make me bend over. Oh, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. You guys are too freaking... Yeah, I know. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you guys. How are your guns secured at home? I'm in a bunker. Safes. Lots and lots of safes. And, I think that's something we could probably do a video on. I'm not going to ever show my personal safe. Nope. But I will say that there are a lot of different options out there for depending on how you want to keep your gun secure and all that stuff. But yeah, safes are probably the best bet, right? There's also like, the shelves, the hidden compartments, things like that. Those are all neat and cool, but they're not the most secure if you ask me, right? So there you go. None your business, right? So there you go. Morik, I love that Molly system. Asked you about that on Instagram. Thank you for applying, of course. And I'll leave it off here, guys. Head on over to magdump_Morgan. If you do like actually Gray Man Tactical, all that stuff, use the link that I have in my bio to get yourself, and GMT10 is a discount code you can use with that link in my bio. And so you get 10% off that. And yes, I get a little kickback there. So because I like Gray Man Tactical also. Same thing for Trauma Pack, Alpha Omega Kydex holsters. Mag Dump is the code word you can use there. The Infinity targets, the targets that you can just keep on shooting, they're freaking awesome. You can use code Mag Dump there as well. I've got you guys covered on all of that type of fun stuff. For all your carry needs, your first aid, I got you. So again, thank you guys so much. And also never take pictures of your guns or inside of your gun safes with your phone. Unless you have my job. So there you got it. Nordic Metals, thanks Clint, got my guard dog body armor. You guys are on it. Perfect. Guys, stay strapped out there. Ghillie Shooter, say your truck's set up, and I have a truck on order, assuming strike in, so I need to get me a Molly seat backer for sure. There you go. There you have it. And I think I am pretty much done for the night here, guys. I'm tired. I still haven't eaten anything. I need to go do that. So I'm going to end this out with something I think is pretty obvious. Defund the ATF. Repeal the NFA and the Gun Control Act, all of them. Any gun laws on the books should be repealed because they are infringements on our Second Amendment right. Support organizations that actually stand and fight for your freedoms, like Gun Owners of America, like Firearms Policy Coalition. More importantly, exercise your Second Amendment right and seek training. Carry a gun. Carry it efficiently. Stock up on ammo. Stay armed. Stay ammoed up. Stay armored up. Yes, get body armor. I will always say that. And most of all, stay vigilant. All right. God bless you guys. And I will see you guys next time right here at Classic Firearms next Sunday, Monday. Man, I'm talking about having vehicles in your car and everything else. I'll see you guys next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Love you guys. God bless. Lagavulin for the win. Do love my scotch. And I'll see you guys next week. Later.